Some islands are so beautiful they barely look real, like paradise broke off from the mainland and drifted out to sea. Today, we count down the 20 most beautiful islands in the world for 2026. You will see glowing lagoons, jagged green peaks, powder white sand, and reefs bursting with color from every ocean on Earth. Each island tops the last, so stay with us all the way to number 1. Save this video so you never lose the list, and comment the one island you would fly to first. We start the countdown at number 20, so let's set sail right now. Number 20 is Mallorca, the jewel of Spain's Balearic Islands in the warm Mediterranean. Hidden coves of turquoise water tucked beneath dramatic limestone cliffs and pine-covered mountains, all glowing under the Spanish sun. The Serra de Tramuntana range drops straight into the sea, past terraced villages and olive groves. Winding roads climb to stone hamlets with sweeping views over the deep blue coast. Sail into coves, so clear the boats seem to float on air above the pale sand. Sea caves and secret beaches open around headlands reachable only by kayak or on foot. Quiet, hidden, and impossibly clear. The old town of Palma glows around a vast Gothic cathedral rising above the harbor. Palm-lined promenades, tapas bars, and hidden courtyards fill the sun-warmed, narrow lanes. Watch the sunset from Cap de Formentor as cliffs plunge into a sea turning gold and pink. Almond groves bloom white in late winter across the quiet green interior of the island, a perfect end to the day. Mallorca blends mountains, coves, and old-world charm into one sun-drenched Mediterranean escape. It is a dreamy start to our list, but far more stunning islands lie ahead. Number 19 is Mauritius, a volcanic island ringed by coral reefs in the warm Indian Ocean. White beaches fade into water so clear the lagoons glow every shade of blue and green, warm, calm, and endlessly inviting. Jagged green mountains rise sharply from sugarcane fields toward the drifting tropical clouds. Waterfalls tumble through rainforest where wild monkeys move among the dense green canopy. Offshore, a famous underwater illusion makes the seabed look like a giant plunging waterfall. Snorkel warm reefs alive with turtles, rays, and clouds of bright darting reef fish. A diver's dream come true. At Chamarel, bands of earth glow in 7 colors across strange, rippling volcanic dunes. Nearby, a wide waterfall crashes into a green gorge deep in the island's lush interior. Kite surfers skim the turquoise flats, while dhow boats drift across the calm evening lagoon. Luxury overwater villas perch above the reef where the sun sets in molten gold, the very picture of paradise. Mauritius feels like a lush green world, floating in a sea of impossible blue. It is pure tropical bliss, yet even dreamier islands are still to come. Number 18 is Capri, a rugged island rising from the sparkling blue Bay of Naples. Sheer white cliffs plunge into grottos where the water glows an electric shade of blue, steeped in glamour and old legend. Ride a small boat into the blue grotto, where sunlight turns the whole cave a glowing sapphire. Sea stacks called the Faralloni rise from the water like ancient stone guardians, a truly magical, glowing sight. The town of Capri sparkles with whitewashed lanes, lemon trees, and tumbling pink bougainvillea. Designer shops and cafes spill onto a piazza high above the shimmering harbor. A chairlift floats up to Monte Solaro for a sweeping view over the whole island and coast. Below, terraced gardens drop toward cliffs where the sea sparkles far, far down. Swim in hidden coves beneath the cliffs, then sip limoncello made from the island's own lemons. As evening falls, the white town glows warm against the darkening sea and sky, warm, clear, and utterly refreshing. Capri is Italian glamour and wild sea cliff beauty distilled onto one tiny island. It has dazzled travelers for centuries, But our countdown climbs much higher still. Number 17 is Zanzibar, a spice island off Tanzania in the glowing turquoise Indian Ocean. Powder-soft beaches meet water so bright it almost hurts to look at in the sun, framed by leaning coconut palms. Traditional wooden dhow boats with white sails drift across the shallow, glowing lagoon. At low tide, the sea pulls far back, leaving mirror-flat sand that stretches to the horizon. In Old Stone Town, carved wooden doors and winding alleys tell centuries of spice trade history. The scent of cloves and cinnamon drifts from markets in the maze of coral stone lanes, rich with centuries of history. Snorkel coral reefs and swim beside dolphins in the warm, impossibly clear offshore water. Seaweed farmers wade the shallows as the tide paints the flats in shifting blue and gold. Palm trees lean over the sand where you can float in a bathwater warm turquoise sea. At sunset, the sky and lagoon blaze orange behind the silhouettes of drifting boats, a scene of pure island calm. Zanzibar mixes dreamy beaches with rich history in one exotic island escape. It is intoxicating and warm, yet grander islands still wait ahead of us. Number 16 is the Whitsunday Islands, 74 green isles scattered across Australia's Great Barrier Reef. Swirls of white sand and turquoise water form patterns you can only see from the sky, the reef at its most dazzling. Whitehaven Beach glows with pure silica sand, so bright and fine it squeaks beneath your feet. At Hill Inlet, sand and sea swirl together in shifting ribbons of white and jade, one of the finest beaches on Earth. Sail between forested islands and drop anchor above coral gardens teeming with tropical fish. Sea turtles glide beneath the boat as the reef shimmers in 100 shades of blue, warm, clear, and bursting with life. Fly over Heart Reef, a natural swirl of coral shaped exactly like a perfect heart. Below, the vast Great Barrier Reef stretches out in glowing turquoise toward the far horizon. Kayak quiet bays, hike to island lookouts, and snorkel straight off empty white beaches. As the sun sinks, the water turns soft pastel and the islands fade to deep green. The Whitsundays are the reef and the tropics at their most dazzling and pure. They feel almost painted, but the countdown only gets more unreal from here. Number 15 is the Phi Phi Islands of Thailand, where sheer limestone cliffs erupt from the emerald Andaman Sea. Hidden lagoons and white beaches curl beneath towering jungle-covered walls, the tropics at their most dramatic. At Maya Bay, cliffs wrap almost all the way around a perfect beach of soft white sand. Long-tail boats bob in water so clear the coral is visible far beneath the surface, framed by soaring green cliffs. Kayak into secret lagoons ringed by rock, reachable only through narrow gaps in the cliffs. Snorkel straight from the sand over reefs alive with clownfish and blacktip reef sharks. Climb to the Phi Phi viewpoint for a jaw-dropping look over the twin bays far below. Green jungle spills down to a slim, sandy isthmus with turquoise water on either side. Long-tail boats trace white wakes across the bay as the karst cliffs glow at golden hour. Fire dancers and beach bars light up the sand once the tropical sun goes down. A warm, glowing tropical evening. The Phi Phi Islands are Thailand's postcard tropics. Wild, green, and impossibly blue. They are unforgettable, yet even more beautiful islands still lie ahead. An unforgettable tropical escape. Number 14 is Madeira, a lush volcanic island rising steeply from the deep blue Atlantic. Emerald peaks pierce the clouds above sheer cliffs that drop straight into the pounding sea. Wild, green, and endlessly dramatic. Ancient laurel forests cling to the mountains, threaded by narrow water channels called levadas. Hikers follow these paths past waterfalls into misty green valleys hidden in the peaks. At Cabo Girao, a glass skywalk juts over one of the highest sea cliffs in all of Europe. Far below, tiny terraced farms cling impossibly to the near vertical green slopes, a dizzying view straight down. Volcanic rock pools at Porto Moniz fill with clear seawater beside the crashing surf. Above the clouds, jagged peaks glow gold at sunrise on the island's dramatic mountain spine. Wander Funchol's flower markets, then ride a wicker toboggan down the steep, old streets. Terraced vineyards and banana groves tumble toward a sea sparkling far below the town. Madeira is a soaring garden island where mountains meet the wild blue Atlantic. And we are past a third of the list, so the top 14 only get more unreal. Number 13 is Sardinia, an Italian island famous for some of the most beautiful beaches in the Mediterranean. Water glows from pale turquoise to deep sapphire over sand as fine as sugar. The Mediterranean at its finest. Along the coast of Esmeralda, granite boulders frame hidden coves of impossibly clear blue water. Yachts drift offshore as the shallow sea shifts from emerald to glowing aquamarine. At La Pelosa, you can wade far out across a warm, shallow lagoon toward an old stone tower. The pale sand and shifting blues make it look more like the Caribbean than Italy. Shallow, warm, and crystal clear. Inland, rugged mountains hide ancient stone towers built by a lost civilization thousands of years ago. Wild horses roam high plateaus above deep gorges and quiet oak forest. Kayak into sea caves and swim in coves reachable only from the water or steep cliff paths. Fishing villages serve fresh seafood as the harbor glows pink in the evening light. Sardinia is wild, ancient, and blessed with water the color of gemstones. It is a Mediterranean dream, but the countdown keeps climbing higher still, wild and blessed with color. Number 12 is Fiji, a scattering of more than 300 islands in the warm South Pacific. Palm-fringed sand rings, glowing lagoons above some of the most colorful reefs on Earth, scattered across the warm Pacific. Tiny coral islets sit like green dots in vast stretches of turquoise and deep ocean blue. Overwater bungalows perch above reefs where the water is warm and impossibly clear. Dive with soft corals in every color imaginable, plus reef sharks and gentle manta rays. Below the surface, whole gardens of coral sway in the current like a living rainbow. A living underwater rainbow. Kayak between islands, then snorkel straight off the beach into a warm, glassy lagoon. Traditional villages welcome visitors with music, feasts, and the famous Fijian smile. Hike jungle-covered peaks for views over reefs that glow turquoise against the deep blue sea. At sunset, the whole lagoon turns to liquid gold beneath swaying coconut palms, the South Pacific dream itself. Fiji is the South Pacific dream, warm, remote, and ringed by dazzling coral. It is paradise itself, yet even finer islands are still to come. Number 11 is the Galapagos Islands, a volcanic archipelago far off the coast of Ecuador. Nowhere else on Earth can you walk so close to such wild and fearless animals, raw, wild, and utterly untouched. Giant tortoises roam misty green highlands, while marine iguanas bask on black lava rocks. Sea lions sprawl across the beaches, completely unbothered by the people walking past. Snorkel with playful sea lions, sea turtles, penguins, and rays in the clear, cool water. Schools of fish swirl around you as curious creatures glide close enough to touch, an unforgettable wildlife encounter. Blue-footed boobies dance on the cliffs, while frigate birds puff up bright red throat pouches. The stark volcanic landscape feels like the dawn of the world, raw and untouched. Sail between islands past sea stacks, lava flows, and beaches of white, red, and black sand. Hammerhead sharks and whales cruise the deep channels between the scattered isles. The Galapagos are a living laboratory of wonders unlike anywhere else on the planet. They stir the soul, but the countdown now reaches its spectacular top 10, found nowhere else on Earth. Number 10 is the Faroe Islands, a cluster of green peaks rising from the wild North Atlantic. Sheer sea cliffs, hidden waterfalls, and grass-roofed villages give them a misty, magical feel. Misty, moody, and magical. At Sorvagsvatn, a lake seems to hover high above the ocean through a trick of the cliffs. Waterfalls pour straight off the edge of the land into the crashing sea below, a jaw-dropping natural illusion. Grass-covered cottages cling to fjords where fishing boats bob on dark, glassy water. Mist drifts over the emerald slopes as sheep graze the impossibly steep green hills. The sea stacks of Drangarnir frame a distant island through a dramatic natural rock arch. Puffins nest by the thousands on grassy cliffs high above the churning gray Atlantic. Hike to lonely lighthouses and lookouts where the wind and waves feel wild and endless. When the clouds break, the low sun sets the whole rugged landscape glowing green. The Faroe Islands are moody, dramatic, and heart-stoppingly beautiful in every direction. They feel like a hidden world. But the top 9 are even more unreal. A hidden world of green and mist. Number 9 is Aitutaki in the Cook Islands, home to one of the most beautiful lagoons on Earth. A ring of tiny islets encloses water in glowing shades of turquoise and jade, glowing in a dozen shades of blue. From above, the lagoon looks like scattered emeralds set in a sea of liquid turquoise. Sandbars, so white they nearly blind you, rise from water warm and clear as glass. Wade across shallow flats to 1-foot island, a slice of sand ringed by dazzling blue. Tropical fish and rays glide through the lagoon in water barely up to your waist. Warm, shallow, and dazzling. Sail a small boat between the motus, stopping to snorkel over gardens of living coral. Palm trees lean over empty beaches where the only sound is the lapping of the sea. At sunset, the lagoon glows pink and gold beneath a huge, star-filled Pacific sky. This remote paradise feels like the very edge of the world, quiet and utterly perfect. Quiet and utterly perfect. Aitutaki is a lagoon so beautiful it barely seems possible it is real. It feels like heaven on earth, yet even higher wonders wait ahead. Number 8 is Maui, the Valley Isle of Hawaii, where volcanoes, rainforest, and golden beaches meet. From misty green peaks to black lava coasts, the whole island feels alive with color, alive with tropical color. The road to Kahana winds past waterfalls, bamboo forests, and cliffs above the crashing surf. Rainbows arc over pools where fresh water tumbles down toward the deep blue sea. At the summit of Haleakala, you stand above the clouds as the sun rises over a vast crater. The volcanic landscape glows red and gold, feeling more like Mars than an island, an unforgettable morning above the clouds. Golden and even red sand beaches curve along a coast where humpback whales breach offshore. Snorkelers drift over coral reefs alive with sea turtles in the clear, warm water. Palm trees sway over Kanapali as surfers ride the waves beneath a glowing evening sky. At sunset, the whole west coast blazes orange behind the silhouette of neighboring islands. Maui blends volcano, rainforest, and reef into one lush Hawaiian paradise. It is close to our hearts, and the countdown only gets more stunning now, close to our island hearts. Number 7 is Bali, Indonesia's island of temples, terraces, and glowing volcanic peaks. Emerald rice fields spill down the hills while waves peel along golden and black sand beaches, green, lush, and endlessly photogenic. Ornate temple gates frame smoking volcanoes as offerings of flowers line the mossy stone paths. At Tanah Lot, a sea temple sits on a rock lashed by the crashing surf. In Ubud, jungle waterfalls crash into pools and terraces, climb the hills in perfect green steps. Monkeys roam ancient temples wrapped in vines deep in the humid tropical forest. Climb Mount Batur before dawn to watch the sun rise above a sea of drifting cloud. Below, a crater lake mirrors the sky beside the cone of a still smoking volcano. A magical dawn above the clouds. Surf warm reef breaks, Then watch fire dancers perform on the cliffs above the sea. As the sun sinks, the beaches of Uluwatu blaze gold beneath towering limestone cliffs. Bali fuses spirituality, jungle, and volcanoes into one endlessly photogenic island. We are 2/3 of the way now, and the final 6 are the most beautiful of all. Number 6 is Santorini, a Greek island wrapped around the rim of a sunken volcano. Whitewashed villages spill down black cliffs high above the deep blue Aegean Sea, the most famous island view of all. Blue domed churches and white cube houses tumble toward the caldera in a maze of steps. Bougainvillea spills over walls, glowing brilliant white against the endless blue sea and sky. In Oya, crowds gather each evening for a sunset that sets the whole caldera ablaze. The sky burns orange and pink as the sun sinks behind the far volcanic islands, the most celebrated sunset in Greece. Swim off black and red volcanic beaches formed by ancient eruptions long, long ago. Boats drift on the caldera, where the water glows deep sapphire beneath the towering cliffs. Wander marble lanes to hidden chapels, then dine on cliff terraces high above the sea. Windmills turn on the headlands as the white villages glow softly under the Greek sun. Santorini is the most iconic island view in the world, pure white against endless blue. It has stunned travelers for ages, but our top 5 climb even higher, pure white against endless blue. Number 5 is the Seychelles, a scattering of granite islands in the middle of the Indian Ocean. Giant weathered boulders frame beaches of soft white sand and glowing turquoise water, framed by ancient granite boulders. At Anse Source d'Argent, pink granite rocks curve around one of the most photographed beaches on Earth. Palm trees lean over sand so soft and pale it looks almost like snow, a true tropical masterpiece. Snorkel warm reefs where sea turtles glide past clouds of neon-bright tropical fish. Shallow lagoons glow in ribbons of jade and aquamarine over the pale coral sand. In lush valleys, rare giant tortoises roam, and the world's largest seed grows in the palm forest. Mist drifts over green peaks that rise steeply above the sparkling coast. Sail between islands to empty beaches reachable only on foot or by boat. At sunset, the granite boulders glow warm gold above a sea fading softly into pink. The Seychelles look like a tropical fantasy carved from granite, sand, and light. They feel almost too perfect, yet the top 4 are more beautiful still, carved from granite, sand, and light. Number 4 is Kauai, the Garden Isle and the greenest of the Hawaiian Islands. Towering sea cliffs, deep canyons, and countless waterfalls give it a wild, primeval beauty, the greenest island in Hawaii. The Nepali coast rises in razor-sharp green ridges straight from the pounding blue Pacific. Waterfalls plunge down fluted cliffs that no road can reach, only boats and helicopters. Wild, remote, and breathtaking. Waimea Canyon glows red, green, and gold, a vast gorge often called the Grand Canyon of the Pacific. Waterfalls thread its walls as mist drifts through the deep, rugged valleys. Rainforests drip with waterfalls, while wild chickens roam beaches of golden and even red sand. Rainbows arc over the mountains in one of the wettest, greenest spots on Earth. Snorkel clear reefs, kayak jungle rivers, and hike ridgelines wrapped in swirling cloud. At sunset, the sea cliffs glow gold as the surf crashes far below the green heights. Kauai is raw, green, and dramatic. Hawaii at its wildest and most beautiful. It steals every heart, but 3 even finer islands still remain. Hawaii at its most untamed. Number 3 is Bora Bora, a South Pacific island wrapped in a lagoon of unreal blue. A jagged green volcano rises from the center, ringed by white sand and glowing turquoise water, the ultimate tropical fantasy. Overwater bungalows line the reef above water so clear you can see fish from your deck. The lagoon glows in bands of aquamarine and sapphire around the towering green peak, floating above a glowing lagoon. Snorkel and swim with rays and reef sharks in the warm, impossibly clear shallows. Coral gardens shelter clouds of tropical fish beneath the shadow of Mount Otamanu. Sail across the lagoon to tiny sandy motus ringed by palm trees and glowing water. From the air, the whole island looks like a jewel set in a ring of brilliant blue. Hike the volcanic slopes for a view over the entire lagoon shimmering far below. At sunset, the sky and water blaze orange and pink behind the dramatic green peak. Bora Bora is the ultimate tropical fantasy. A green peak floating in liquid turquoise. It tops many lists, yet two even more beautiful islands still remain. A green jewel set in turquoise. Number 2 is the Maldives, a chain of coral atolls scattered like jewels across the Indian Ocean. Rings of white sand and glowing lagoons float on a vast, warm, sapphire sea, scattered like jewels on the sea. Overwater villas stretch along the reef above water so clear, the shadows of fish drift on the seabed. Each island is a perfect ring of palm-fringed sand around a turquoise lagoon, the very height of paradise. Snorkel straight off the sand into reefs alive with turtles, rays, and reef sharks. At night, the shore can glow with bioluminescent plankton like stars scattered on the sea. Swim beside gentle whale sharks and huge gliding manta rays in the warm, open water. Dolphins race the boats at sunset as the whole ocean turns to shimmering gold. Sandbanks appear and vanish with the tide. Tiny islands of pure white in endless blue. From above, the atolls look like turquoise brushstrokes painted across the deep sea. Maldives are the very definition of paradise. Sand and water at their most flawless. Only one island on Earth could possibly top this, sand and water at their most flawless. Number 1 is Palawan in the Philippines, often called the most beautiful island on Earth. Towering limestone cliffs rise from lagoons glowing in the purest shades of jade and blue, widely called the most beautiful of all. In El Nido, sheer karst walls wrap around hidden lagoons reached through gaps in the rock. Paddle a kayak into secret coves where the water glows electric green beneath the cliffs, glowing electric green and blue. At Coron, shipwrecks and coral gardens lie beneath water so clear it looks like glass. Jagged islands frame lakes of turquoise ringed by dramatic gray limestone peaks. Glide down an underground river through a vast cave hung with strange ancient stone shapes. White beaches curve around bays where the sea shifts through a dozen shades of blue. Island hop past sandbars, coral reefs, and lonely beaches with no footprints but your own. At sunset, the karst towers glow gold above a sea fading gently into pink. Palawan crowns our list because it packs every island dream into one stunning place. From lagoon to cliff to reef, it is simply the most beautiful island on Earth, simply the finest island on Earth. There you have it. The 20 most beautiful islands anywhere in the entire world. From Mediterranean coves to Pacific lagoons, each one is a true bucket list paradise. Which island would you visit first, and did your own favorite make our final list? Drop a comment below, give the video a like, and save it for your next getaway. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the very end of this journey. Aloha from Kahana Designs, and be sure to subscribe for more beautiful travel guides.